recording, just for the record. So he does it in a gallon of water. I do it in 75 ounces of water. It's 2 lemons, 3 Heart and Hydration, 2 nickel-sized pieces of ginger. And what else? Oh, 3 green tea bags. And I use the decaf. Let me see, that's all. So, yeah, that's it. And then just put that in your water and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight, and then try to drink that during the day. Every night I just fix it again. So far I've done good with getting it in. The first 2 days I tried the gallon and I didn't get all of it in. So that's how come I cut it back to the 75 ounces, and then I just drink 2 bottles of water with my meal. But since I've started this, I know the ginger and the lemon will detox you. And so that's why I guess I'm not having any of my sugar cravings. Like, I have to have chocolate, but I haven't had anything in 8 days now. So,
hey, Darla, I'll try to find the graphic. He's made like a graphic before. I'll try to find that, like with the picture.
All right.
He's probably not up, but I'll message him.
Okay. I know I've heard him talk. I've never tried it until now. I promise y'all it works. Travis is even going to start it today. But it's amazing that I've always had to have my sugar, my candy. I keep it in my purse, and it's a Brewster trait. But in 8 days, I have not had not one piece of chocolate. And we had, like Sunday night, we had Pastor's Appreciation. We had steak dinner, baked potato. The salad was pre-mixed and had sugar in the dressing. The only thing I ate was just a little bit of the meat, the steak, and we had cheesecake, which is one of my favorites, and an ice cream bar. And touch any of the sweets. So I know it's because I'm drinking this and getting all that out of my system.
Y'all, Darla, his head's going to get so big that we've given out the Brewster Brew recipe.
He's so proud of himself.
I know. We'll give him credit where credit's due. But as soon as I get the graphic, because like I said, he sent it to me before, I'll try to post it too.
Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. And today, I know we've had a lot of changes and all that, and it's fine. And at first, I started feeling overwhelmed, but the more that I'm working and staying connected, I feel like is the secret. So if you don't stay connected, it's easy to there's changes, and it's easy to get overwhelmed, and you don't feel like, that you're connected, because you're not. So one of the best things to do is stay connected with your team. And in whatever team group you're in, stay connected with your leader. Another thing that I found this out the hard way when I first started True Vision. I was told over and over, do self-development. And at first I didn't think that it was just that important, but I promise you it is. If you will do self-development every morning, that's the first thing I do, because I feel like that it's developing me, making me a better leader, and in return, I'm being able to help my team more, and I feel like it's just helping my team all around, and I've got them doing self-development. So if you're not doing self-development, and you can find it, I go to Pinterest, I change up. I go to Pinterest, I have audiobooks, any of the leaders that put up a live in the group, I go listen to what they're saying and read what they're posting, because they're leaders for a reason. So all of our leaders, I make sure that I follow them, look at what they're looking at, try to see how they're developing themselves, how they're doing their self-development. If you'll do that, follow the leaders and make sure that you do the self-development, I promise you'll see a difference in yourself. So another thing, I just wrote down a few little points, and then we'll get to work, a few little pointers for today. One thing that I've heard over and over is, November is typically a slow month, and it is. But, as far as numbers. But let me explain this to you. Everybody isn't budgeting like, I don't have kids in school, so I don't have, like when they say, oh, school starts, so it's slow. Everybody doesn't have slow periods and slow months. So it's still out there. You may have to work just a little bit harder for it, but you can still get your customers. You can still keep your numbers. You can still work hard and see results, because everybody isn't in a slow month. We might be as a multi-level market company, but everybody isn't. So it's still out there. We just have to put forth the effort. And remember, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So if you slack, then your numbers may slack. But if you'll get out there and beat the bushes, then you'll see it in your numbers also. Another thing is corporate announced the incentives each week, the weekly contest that they're personally doing. Yesterday they announced it, and this is so good. It's an awesome way to get extra money for Christmas or for whatever you need it for. So, and everybody can do this. We all have an equal chance because of it being divided up into the different regions, and there's like 9 prizes, I think, per region. So this is an awesome opportunity to get extra cash for Christmas or extra points to get free product from TrueVision. So let's all really push for that and pay attention and give that all you've got this next month. And let's see who all can be a winner or be first place. Let's try first, second, third place. It doesn't matter, just so you're on the list. To me, that's a big accomplishment. So let's all really push for that. If you're not prospecting every day, that would be something that would help. I know I've learned that if I slack on that, then my business sort of slacks. So every day you need to try to prospect a little bit. One of the best things that I'm doing now is my interest groups. I have four per account, and I have 3 accounts that I really, really try to pay attention to. And so like in my puppy groups, I don't have a dog, but people that have animals and puppies, they're crazy about their animals. But what it is, I've joined these groups and I Google information and I pay attention to who's posting. And if you'll comment on someone's post 2 or 3 times, especially like if you brag on their puppy or congratulate them or something, brag on their kid or whatever, a lot of times they will send you a friend request, automatically send you a friend request. That is a way to get friend requests without just sending out random friend requests or posting ads. So this is how I am getting a lot of my customers now, is in my interest groups. I make sure I post in there every day. I go through the news feeds, I comment, and some of the people, I write their names down. If I really want to follow that person or get a friend request from them, I'll write their name down and make sure I can search their name when I go to that group and try to comment whenever they post something or what have you. So make sure that you're prospecting every day. And if you're not doing the interest groups, I encourage you to do that. I'm in a sewing group. I'm in recipe groups. I'm in dog groups. I'm in a couple of camping groups. I'm in a travel group. People love, especially whenever you talk to them, if you brag on them, they're going to love it. And a lot of them will remember you because of that. Maria said that she stays maxed out on friends. This is what I have started doing, and it was hard for me to do this because I'm a very loyal person, and I take my friends. I take it. That's very important to me. But what I've had to start doing, which I'm working on my 3rd account now, but on my main account, Darla Odom, that is where all of my personal friends are. And so what I have been doing lately is I have had to give up. I've had to unfriend some of my personal friends because I'm working a business right now. I'll send a friend request after I get my empire built, but for now, this is what I have to do. And so I've been letting some of my personal friends go that I know not interested, will never be interested. I'm letting them go and taking on more customers that's going to help me build my business. So that's how, and every day I just go through, mainly Darla. My other 2 accounts are not completely full, but Darla is. But every day I just go through and I delete 3 or 4 or 5 of my personal friends, and this makes more room for customers. Let me see if there's anything else in here. Okay, Suzanne said that Ray Higdon just said when you do birthdays, check their wall first, and if they haven't posted in 2 months, delete them. 2 months or more. So that's a good idea. But I go through my friends list and try to take out a few of my personal friends that are not interested. And like she just said, if they haven't posted in 2 to 3 months, more than likely they're not on Facebook a whole lot. They know, my friends know what I do, what business I'm in. So if they need to contact me about True Vision, they know how to get in touch with me. Okay, how many of y'all have heard of Adventure Social Media? I think that's what it's called. It's the nerd that gives the social media tips. How many of y'all have heard of him? Okay, so I'll find his address in a minute while we're working and put it in here, but it's, I may have it right here. And Nerd Alert, have y'all heard of that? Nerd Alert. Okay, so last week he's an awesome person to follow, and he stays up on the changes of Facebook, the different changes, and he'll let you know in advance what's going on, and a lot of times he has hacks to get around whatever or to help you through it or whatever. Well, last week he did, I think it was 9 hacks for Halloween or 13 hacks for Halloween. And one of the hacks was very, very beneficial for me, and I feel like it would be for anybody in True Vision. So I want to tell you about it, and what it is he's on Facebook, Christy. I'll get the address and put it in here before we stop. He's also on Instagram. He's so good at giving hacks to get around certain things and to help you do things. I mean, he can, anyway, let's get on with this, but he can show you all kinds of helpful information. And if you're like me, I'm limited at what I can do with electronics. So he's really, really helped me. But one of the 9 hacks, or the 9th hack for Halloween, was how to customize Messenger. And so a lot of us work mainly, I'm on Messenger more than I'm on Facebook because of working so much. And so one thing that he talked about was how to customize your Messenger list. You can color code it, and you can also put an emoji for your different groups. Let me read this. That's it, Suzanne. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. She put the address in the chat. But anyway, so let me just explain how he did it. And I'm working on it, and it's going to take a little bit of time to do this. I wish I had known this 5 years ago when we started. But so like he's got his Messenger divided into 5 categories. And so what I've done is I have like my team, my personal team, like my levels 1 through 8. And then I have like my customers, interested customers. They're another color. My team is one color. My interested customers are another color. And then like people that have purchased from me, but they're not working associates, they're another color. So what you can do is you can go to any message, and I knew you could do this. I just didn't think about doing this to organize my Messenger. So like, all right, this is let me show you this. This is one of my messages at the top where the name is at. If you click on the name and you go down, there is color is the very first thing. So like all of my team, green's my favorite color. So all of my team, I've turned on green for them. Okay, so whenever, all right, and then the emoji, I've got, right now I'll just use the thumbs up. This isn't my team, this is another chat. So like there's all their stuff is showing up as green, but whenever when I change and I just go to Messenger right there at the first, you're gonna have like the colors, whatever messages are that color, you know that's your team. Or at the and the emoji. So like I have a thumbs up for my team. I have a heart for my family. I have a rocket the rocket is for my team. Different emojis for different categories. So especially whenever I'm doing my green dots, I can scroll and I can see all the ones that are potential customers. They're one color and have a certain emoji. So it's so easy. I don't have to go through each name and look and see if they're an associate, if they're a customer, if they've purchased before. I don't have to do any of that because it's color coded and it has an emoji. So that's something that I thought was very helpful and in working TrueVision is if it makes our life easier. I mean, color coding and scroll until you see that color to send a green dot or do a blitz or whatever, it goes a whole lot faster and you're more organized. So I thought that was very helpful and I wanted to share it. Okay. And if you join the Nerd Alert, he has a Facebook page and he will also send it in an email. And like all of his hacks, there's a link on that page where you can go to get those hacks and read. I mean, like he'll show you how to do different, like your collages to make your post. He's awesome. I'm limited like with making pictures or making flyers and all that. He gives you so many hacks to help you learn how to do that. And he also tells you which apps that he's using for each individual thing. So he's very informative, and I feel like that anybody would find him useful if you follow him. It's Nerd Alert, and the address is in the chat. Okay, so let's get busy working now since I've talked. Are there any questions with anything I've said so far? I know so far I'm just trying to give a little bit of information. A lot of times on Power Hour, I just work, but today I wanted to change it up just a little bit. Okay, and let me tell you, this is something that I've been doing the last month. So I do a blitz. I try to do one a day, but most of the time I do 2 a day. And when I do a blitz, what I do is I send out messages. I go to my customer group and I go to members, and the first members that are listed will be your friends. I make the people you added or the people that you're friends with in that group. I make sure that I added them to the group because it'll say added by Darla Odom. What I'm doing is I'm in my first customer group. It's the people that I first started adding to my TrueVision group. Some of these people I haven't spoke to in 2 and 3 years. But what I'm doing is I'm sending them a message about TrueVision. But for 15 minutes, I send messages, only messages. I don't respond to anybody. And I can send anywhere from 30 to 60 messages in that 15 minutes, where I left off with them. And then when I finish sending my messages, I make sure that I write down the last name that I sent, the last person that I sent a message to. That way, when I go back to start, like my next blitz, I can start at that name and go down. Okay, in October, I sent over 400 messages. 400 messages. A lot of these is to people that I haven't spoke to in several years. They're in my group, but I haven't spoke to them in several years. Okay, so this is one thing. I do 15 minutes in the morning and try to do 15 minutes in the evening, but I try to make sure I do it at least one time. And I thought the numbers was interesting, so I wrote down in September, I sent over 200 messages. But in October, I sent over 400. And so it's sort of like green dots, except you're going to, what I ran into with, after I did my green dots for so long, is I started getting the same ones coming up. So like if you go to your customer group or even go to your friends list on your Facebook, just keep up with where you left off at. I'm connecting to people that I added to my customer group now and getting a lot of them back on board, or several of them back on board. So if you're not doing a blitz, if you're not doing the blitzes, I suggest that. It's just a glorified way of doing the green dots. It's an awesome method. Okay, so let me look at the chat. Thank you, Suzanne. And see who is Alicia just sent me the Brewster Brew photo. So if you want this, you can message me and I'll be happy to send it to you. I'm on my computer. This is on my phone. And I don't know how to get it on the computer. So, but I'll be happy to share this with you, the Brewster Brew recipe, if anybody's interested in that. Okay, so now let's all start our work for now. I know some of you has already started this, but let's do green dots right now, or yeah, let's do about 15 green dots right now. And when you're finished with the green dots, put done with green dots in the chat, please. I'll see if I can get this picture on my computer while we're doing that. Some of you are asking for the picture, and I'm sending it to you. If you have team members, please share it with them. If they're on here.
I posted it in Truest Ones too, Darla. If anybody's in the Truest Ones group page, I posted it in there too. I know everyone's not in there, but I did just post it in there.
Right, awesome. And I'll post it in my team group too. But it has made a difference in me, and as far as my sugar cravings, I feel like I felt when I first started True Vision, because I'm not eating as much and I'm not craving sugar at all. And I know that I overrode it, and I mean I preach don't override, but I did it. I did it to myself. So. He told me 3 tea bags, Suzanne. Let me look at this picture.
Yeah. He kept texting me more stuff too. He said, sometimes I use the green bags and 4 sticks of Heart and Hydration. And then sometimes I use 2. I don't know. So I guess it varies a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. Just I know these ingredients together to help you detox, get the impurities out of your system, and it will help you lose weight. So just adjust it to how you want. But what I did was, and I'm doing 75 ounces of water, not a gallon. So I did 3 green tea bags, and I used decaffeinated. I did the juice of 2 lemons, 3 Heart and Hydration, and then the slices of fresh ginger. And ginger is so good for you. I don't care for ginger, but it is so good for you. I mean, it's good for everything. So I like it in this Bristol brew. Lisa Stokes, I'm going to put I just posted the picture in our chat, in the team chat. When you're finished with your green dots, just put it in the chat, please. Another thing that I've noticed is on the days that I don't, that I'm not on Facebook as much or not in the group as much or whatever, I noticed that my business is not as active those days. So if you find where you don't feel like that you're as active, like you're getting as much business as you would like, one thing that I've learned is the more active I am, the more people see my stuff, and the more active I am on Facebook, then the more active my business is. So what I'll do, like Saturday and Sunday are slow most of the time, but I'll go like in the evening and my team chat, and I'll say, okay, everybody go comment on 10 posts in the customer group. If we get 6 to 10 or 15 of us to go in there and start commenting, then business picks up. So if yours seems to get slack just a little bit, if you'll get active on Facebook and in your customer group, then your business will pick up because people will start seeing your post. Holly, if you'll message me, I'll send you this picture. Autumn and Melanie. Okay, we have several that's finished with the first assignment. So the second assignment, let's go to 10 of our friends on our friends' pages. Go to their page on Facebook and comment on one of their posts, or just give them a happy day post or whatever. But go to 10 friends' Facebook page and make a comment or a post. And when you're finished, put done in the chat. Okay, Marianne, thank you for being on. Have a great day. Tabitha, go to 10 of your Facebook friends' wall and comment on one of their posts or make a post on their wall. 10 of your friends. You might not think that this does very much, but last week when I was doing my assignments one day, one of my friends had, I think her puppy had passed away, or it had gotten hit by a car, and she had taken it to the bed. Anyway, the puppy ended up passing away. But I commented, and I haven't heard from this lady in a couple of years, and it wasn't but just a little while till she ended up private messaging me back, and ended up signing up for Trivision again, and she hasn't ordered in a while. But they do see. Another thing is, I don't know if you're like this, but I am. So on my birthday, whenever everybody's posting on my wall or commenting, it means a lot to me to see who all wishes me happy birthday or happy anniversary or whatever. So a kind word goes a long ways with people. So these are important. This is very important to comment on your friends' post and their stuff, because they keep seeing your post and your name. I know there's people that will comment on my stuff, and I'll have to go look and see, because I don't remember exactly who they are. So I know that others, if I do that, I know others do that too. So it is very important that we're active on our friends' wall. Okay, the ones that are getting done, let's go and do our birthdays now. And when you're finished with that, just put done with birthdays in the chat. Let me tell you something else that I do, and I'm looking over it right now, but like anytime I'm on a live or I go to a meeting or whatever, I take notes. And a lot of times I go back over and read back through these notes, and a lot of times I'll write down something that's important or a nugget that I feel like was good. But after the meeting, I mean, you can't remember everything, or even on a live, you can't remember everything that was said. So if you'll take notes with whatever, whenever you're listening to someone speak, you're on a live, you're at a meeting, even power hours, I take notes every time I get on. I take notes, and I keep it in this one binder is just my notes. Even like in St. Louis, my notes are in here from St. Louis, from the different speakers, but I go back over and I read through my notes, and you'll pick up little nuggets that you wrote down from those meetings that somehow you forgot, or it didn't stay with you. So that's what I'm doing right now is I'm going through my notes from all of the meetings that I've been through and looking for little nuggets to share with y'all and with my team. And this is also working on me. Thank you, Shannon. Someone was asking, where do you find birthdays? And Shannon answered for me. Wait just a minute, and then I'll give the next assignment. Okay, so the next assignment is going to be to make an interaction post on your personal Facebook. And a lot of times I get mine off of Pinterest, but you can also Google interaction post for Facebook. But Pinterest has some really, really cute ones. And if you don't get the first ones you see, scroll down a little bit and look for something that would be interested, you think people would be interested in interacting with you about. So you can ask a question and ask for their take on it or their advice on it or what they think about it, or you can just do like a yes or no, like a poll. But an interaction post to me gets the most traffic. So let's all try to post an interaction post on our Facebook now and try to get one that you haven't seen or you haven't seen in a while. Sometimes this can turn into a lot of fun if people really get into it. If you get something that people love to give their opinion. And so like, I mean, you can ask anything. Like a few months ago, I asked what kind of air fryer people was the best. You know, what did people think was the best? What kind did they have? Something like that. And then why they think it's the best or why they like that. But just something where people can give their opinion. And let's post that right now. And let me know whenever you get that done. Put it in the comment, please. If anybody has a question, you can just unmute and ask the question if you'd like. Okay, we have several getting done. Wait just another minute more, and I want to do one more thing before we're finished. One more assignment. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a blitz. So I'll put in the chat, I'll put some of the messages that I'm using to do my blitzes, and you just change up a word or two and you can use them. And we can even do like a 5-minute blitz, and we'll get enough done. Somebody's messaging me and I can't find their message. Okay, so let me put in the chat. Let's see. Okay, okay. This is for the person who has never ordered. So make sure that you fix it, because I have my personal testimony on this. So make sure that you fix it for your personal testimony. And this is the one that I use the most to do when I'm doing the blitz. That's for the person who has never ordered. And let me give you a couple more responses, and then we'll do a blitz. All right, this is for the person who didn't respond to your message. And then this is for your warm market. This is a good message to send for your warm market. And that'll be enough. This will give you enough to work with. Okay, so there's you some messages. So for 5 minutes, and what I do, you can do it. You can do it however you want to, but the way I do is I go to my customer group, or this is what I'm doing now. I go to my customers group, go to members, and you can do the same thing on your friends list on Facebook. But if you go to your customer group, if you go to click on members, the people that you're friends with in that group will come up first. And I just make sure that I added that person. And you just click on their on their name, and let's see how many messages we can send in 5 minutes. Let's do this for 5 minutes. Just go down the list. And I gave you some messages to go by in the chat. So it's 10:52, so let's go to 10:57. Just send messages. Don't respond to anybody. Just send messages. If you have a question, you can ask in the chat or you can unmute and ask. Just make sure you change up the messages just a little bit. And what I do is, like, for my whole blitz today, I'll use the same message. I'm adding their name, so that's changing it up just a little bit. But then tomorrow when I do my next blitz, I'll change up 2 or 3 words in my message before I send it. Thank you, Wendy. Thanks for being on today. Hey, thank you, Suzanne. I was muted. So let's all count and see how many messages we sent in 5 minutes and put it in the chat. So let's figure out how many we sent. But let me tell you this. Remember, I usually do a blitz for 15 minutes at a time. And I keep up. I can do it in the doctor's office. I can do it getting my oil changed. I can do it waiting on an appointment somewhere. You can find 15 minutes that you can usually work in doing a blitz. So I do this at least once a day, sometimes 2 times a day, but I'm having amazing results with this, doing this. Another thing is I keep in my phone, I have a memo to keep up with where I started and stopped on my friends list. So that way I have it with me all the time. I sent 7 messages. So let me add these up. I think it's always fun. I'm a numbers person, and it's always fun to see how many we sent. And that's why I keep up with how many I send every time during the month. So at the end of the month, I know how many I sent. And from September to October, I doubled in October what I sent in September. That was a goal that I had, and I was able to do that. So I promise you it will help your business. And even if you're not sending a message like I gave you, you can just send a message to one of your friends so they see your name and they'll start getting your messages again. If you just want to check on someone, I mean, you can do it any way that you want. But the way I do is I use the messages I showed you, but I push the 7-day trial pack. When they ask how much it is, I tell them about the trial pack, because the trial pack is where most of us started. That's how we started our business, is selling the trial packs and then enrolling them in the 30-day combo pack. So with the blitzes, I always tell them how much the trial pack is. And a lot of times people will ask how much the 30-day combo is. And I'll sell them the 30-day right off, but I prefer to do the trial pack and then the 30-day. Anybody else want to tell us how many you sent? That's 54, 62 so far, 67, 79, 93. So in 5 minutes, see how many messages we sent, and you may not get a response right off. I've even got responses several days later from people that I sent a message to on a blitz. So anyway, I hope you have a great day and an awesome week, and hope this is the best month you ever have had with TrueVision. Let's all push and help each other, and I appreciate everyone that was on today. Thank you so much. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.